So the Death Stranding Awards, Game Awards 2019 is right around the corner. A celebration of video games where companies come together and celebrate the best of the best in the previous year in gaming. Now, there's a lot of people out there that think I hate the Game Awards, and you know what? They're right. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Later. No, but really, I had some issues with the Game Awards throughout the years. The first few years of the show definitely weren't all that great, but as time has gone on, it's definitely become a better show. Maybe I'm not a big fan of the way that the awards are sort of shoehorned away, and some of the awards don't even get announced on stage and things like that, as I feel that should be a focus because it's a company's chance to shine, especially smaller companies. But when it comes to things like game reveals and game announcements, the Game Awards has definitely stepped up their game, no pun intended. With the diminishing things like E3 and the rise of things like Nintendo Direct, Sony State of Plays, and Inside Xbox events, the Game Awards is actually a premier destination to get new information on games or get game reveals, and it's been very exciting. And one of the companies that definitely goes sort of balls out with the Game Awards has to be Nintendo. Look at all the stuff they have talked about in previous years when it comes to the Game Awards. So in today's video, I basically want to talk about what I'm expecting from Nintendo at the Game Awards 2019. Give you guys some predictions and give you guys some thoughts on things I think are going to happen. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about what to expect from Nintendo at the Game Awards 2019. So like I said, Nintendo is definitely a company that I feel prioritizes the Game Awards when it comes to revealing things and doing big announcements. Jeff Keighley obviously has a very strong relationship with Nintendo because we've seen some absolutely crazy stuff. Of course, we got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC at a Game Awards announcement. We got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 being revealed. We've gotten so many different things at the Game Awards from Nintendo, and that really just comes down to the partnership between Jeff Keighley and Nintendo themselves. So I basically want to give you guys some of my predictions of what to expect during the Game Awards 2019. I'm going to start out with the most likely and end with the least likely stuff. So to kick things off, I definitely think there's going to be a new Smash Brothers character announcement at the Game Awards 2019. Last year, Joker was introduced, of course, from the Persona series as coming to Smash Brothers, and that was a huge deal. Everyone lost their mind that was a Joker fan. Me personally, I thought it would have been cooler if it was like the Joker from Batman or something, but still, people really enjoyed that announcement. And honestly, looking at the timeline of events from Smash Brothers, it really makes sense to get a new character announced at this event. When you look at the last character being Terry, Terry was announced in September. He came out last month, and now everyone is waiting for the final Smash Brothers character from season 1 because now they're doing multiple seasons of this DLC and stuff like that. So a lot of people are expecting a new character announcement. Now, who might that character be? I'm going to go out and say I definitely think it's going to be Dante from Devil May Cry, because this is a thing that has been somewhat rumored for a while now, and one of the proponents of putting Dante into Smash Brothers was the fact that the creator of Devil May Cry wanted Devil May Cry games on the Nintendo Switch first. Well, what has happened since then? Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 2 have both released on the Nintendo Switch via the eShop, or there's a physical release of a trilogy with Devil May Cry 3 coming out in Japan in 2020, and of course Devil May Cry 3 was announced for the Nintendo Switch worldwide on the eShop as coming in 2020 as well. So now Dante is on the Nintendo Switch, and I just think the timing of it is definitely very curious. Obviously, Nintendo and Capcom have been doing things with Smash Brothers. When you look at things like Ryu and Ken, of course Mega Man, of course the Resident Evil Spirit Pack that just came out, or the Spirit event that just came out for Smash Brothers as well. I definitely think it's going to be Dante, and I think a lot of people would be excited by that. Yes, he's another sword-based character, but he has guns too. I think it would be a really fun character, and I think it would be something that fits within the Smash Brothers universe. But regardless, I definitely think there is going to be a new Smash Brothers character announcement at the Game Awards 2019. My next prediction is with a Platinum Games title that a lot of people are looking forward to, a lot of people are hoping is a 2020 release, and that is Bayonetta 3. Now, Bayonetta and the Game Awards do have a history. 2 years ago at the Game Awards event, the Bayonetta 1 and 2 collection was announced for the Nintendo Switch at the Game Awards, and that was a big deal. Everyone was very excited for that. Having Bayonetta on the Switch is obviously a very cool thing, but when you look at what's going on with Platinum Games right now, I definitely think it makes sense for this to be at the event, because there are going to be at least 10 unannounced games. Some things have been leaking on the internet lately. One of the things that's leaked onto the internet lately is a Vanquish remaster that is coming to the PS4 and Xbox One in early 2020. And who makes Vanquish? Platinum Games. So a lot of people are expecting Vanquish to be at the Game Awards 2019. Probably some sort of announcement trailer, some sort of reveal of this game. So if Platinum is already going to be there, why not also talk about Bayonetta 3? There's also rumors that a Bayonetta 1 remaster is coming to the PS4 as well. So once again, you show off the PS4 remaster, like, oh, look at these awesome graphics, and then you lead into Bayonetta 3 as well. I think Platinum is definitely going to have a strong presence at the Game Awards 2019, and with something like Bayonetta 3, that would obviously be a very big deal. I feel like the Game Awards crowd would really like something like Bayonetta 3 style trailer, more so than something like an Animal Crossing style trailer. It's definitely more of a hardcore gamer focus when it comes to this. So I definitely think there is a very good chance that Bayonetta 3 is going to be at the Game Awards 2019. And like I previously said, the Game Awards is confirmed to have at least 10 unannounced games be revealed at the event this year. Now, looking back at last year, like I said earlier, what was one of the games that was announced at the Game Awards that nobody expected? That was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, a somewhat hardcore style game. It's definitely not a game for everyone, but it was definitely a game that I felt targeted the Game Awards 2018. So in 2019, I think it would be smart once again for Nintendo to reveal an unannounced game. Now, as far as what that unannounced game is, it's definitely hard to say. When you look at the 2020 landscape for the Nintendo Switch, when it comes to first-party Nintendo titles, you don't know much. Like, you know about Animal Crossing, and you know that Bayonetta 3 hopefully is coming. There might be a Metroid or something like that, but really, it's an open landscape. It is wide open when it comes to games for the Nintendo Switch in 2020. Now, more than likely, we will be getting a Nintendo Direct very early, probably in January or February for the Nintendo Switch. But other than that, besides things like Animal Crossing and of course Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is coming out in January, you don't know what's coming to the Switch in 2020. So I feel like this event is a perfect place to unveil an unannounced game. Maybe a game that has been rumored, maybe a Kid Icarus style game. I'm not really sure, but I definitely think there is a very good chance for there to be an unannounced Nintendo Switch game be revealed from Nintendo at this event. Now we're starting to get into the things that I've heard rumors about, I see people speculating about, but I don't necessarily think you're going to see this at the event. The first one has to be The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Now, some people are hoping that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be at this event, maybe a new trailer, maybe showing off some gameplay. A lot of people are pegging this for a holiday 2020 release, which I think is smart. I definitely think Breath of the Wild 2 will be releasing in holiday of 2020, but I don't see Nintendo unveiling a brand new trailer, especially a gameplay trailer, at the Game Awards 2019 for Breath of the Wild 2. Really, because you don't want to blow your whole load at this event, and I definitely think these three other things are things that are going to happen at this event, so you don't want to have everything at this event. You want to be able to save things for your upcoming Nintendo Direct. Obviously, 2020 is a very important year for the Nintendo Switch. I feel like Breath of the Wild 2 is going to bolster that lineup as a holiday 2020 release, but I don't think that you're going to see Breath of the Wild 2 at the Game Awards 2019. Yes, they have done Breath of the Wild stuff. We were introduced to the Breath of the Wild motorcycle thing a couple years ago at the Game Awards, which was absolutely crazy and everyone lost their shit. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it would be better to hold back on Breath of the Wild 2, keep some mystery of it, and really just introduce it at the upcoming Nintendo Direct that you're going to do in the early part of 2020. And the final thing that some people are speculating about, but I don't really see happening, you know what it is. You know what it is because we talked about it last year on the channel. It is the butt of jokes on the Spawncast, and that is something Metroid related. Metroid Prime Trilogy HD Collection, or Metroid Prime 4, or maybe that Super Metroid remake that I don't think exists. I don't really see a lot of credence going into that. But people are hoping that something Metroid related is going to be at the Game Awards 2019, and I'm just saying, don't hold your breath. Like, maybe if something does happen, it would be the Prime Trilogy HD Collection. That's the most logical thing out of this whole situation. But after last year's fiasco, I'm not going out on a limb and talking about that and saying, oh yeah, I think it's going to be at the Game Awards 2019, just because I don't necessarily think it's going to be at the Game Awards 2019. Every day that passes that Prime Trilogy HD Collection isn't announced is just another day that I'm like, maybe this isn't really happening. The Super Metroid related leak that was circulating on the internet a couple weeks ago, I don't believe that rumor. Make sure you guys check out my video talking about that and why I don't believe that rumor. And Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 is a long ways away. I do not think that that game is ready to be shown off. I don't think Nintendo is ready to talk about that game yet, because Nintendo likes to talk about games 6 months to a year before they release. And I don't foresee Metroid Prime 4 coming out in 2020. Like, there's been nothing about it. There's been no leaks. There's been no rumors, there's been no developmental updates. All we know is that the game was originally scrapped, and now we're building something new in the Metroid Prime universe that is being done by Retro instead of Bandai Namco. So I have no faith whatsoever in Metroid being at the event, although it would be nice, and I think a lot of people would be happy. I wouldn't hold your breath, because you're just gonna pass out and like die or something, and I don't want that blood on my hands. Alright, so those are my Game Awards 2019 predictions when it comes to Nintendo. What I expect to see at this event, and what I hope to see at this event. I think it's going to be a very fun event. You know, it's going to be a bit quiet when it comes to PS4 and Xbox One related stuff. Obviously, those systems are starting to dwindle down. The successors are coming out in 2020, so I don't think there's going to be much stuff when it comes to those systems, but I definitely think it's going to be a strong year for Nintendo. I think there's going to be some fun stuff and some fun announcements, hopefully. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of my predictions, and what you hope to see at the Game Awards 2019 from Nintendo and third-party companies for Nintendo platforms. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Be sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.